All right, welcome to a movie night and game day. I'm Kyle, the creator of the movie spreadsheet, where I encourage you to dust off those DVDs, put away those books, and join me as I rate, rank, and rate movies in the first minute, giving you a spoiler-free review.
All right, and I'm Eric. I'm Kyle's co host. Each week we get together for movie night and game day where we watch two movies. We try to guess each other's scores, and the winner gets first dibs on picking next week's movies. Plus, we're passionate about sports, so each week we discuss a topic that is trending in the world of sports.
Each week we'll also have some fun, and we'll have a feature in which we play a game. And this week we're going to play essentially a Guess Who game, where each of us have an actor or actress, and we'll try to figure out who that actor or actress is in the fewest amount of guesses.
We want you to like, subscribe, rate, review, and comment. We want you to be a part of movie night and game day. All right, so now we've got that out of the way. And before we get to the movies, Kyle, what's new with you?
All right, so I've got a weird what's new with me. I'm a northerner. I grew up in Washington. It is so hot here in New Orleans that this summer I had to leave the bedroom, and I had to take a twin bed and put it on the floor of Meg's office because it's the coldest room in the house, and it's also firm. And so I've been sleeping in there with like 3 blankets on. I like to keep it like Bjorn Borg, like as cold as I can possibly get. And the kids joined me throughout the summer, and now they've gone back to their room. So no, I'm just kidding. I've also gone back to the room, and it just feels weird sleeping on a bed in which my ankles don't hang off the edge and is also super soft. And I'm going to put over here like the chart of like what type of sleeping position you are. But I'm like a hardcore face down sleeper. And so I need that firm mattress, and the mattress upstairs, and it's just like the softest thing ever. So I hate it. What's going on with you, Eric?
So wait, you're back in your regular bed?
Back in the regular soft bed.
Okay, and it's cool enough.
Well, we switched sides of the bed, so I'm hoping now I get more of that vent action on me, and then I have a fan also blowing on me. Like I have to have it be super cold in order to get any kind of decent sleep.
Yeah, man, I hear you. We keep the house like an ice box at night. I think it gets down to 65 in our house. It's bone chilling, but man, it feels good when you can cuddle up under the blankets. So, Kyle, what's new with me? I have both a correction and a little bit of a story to tell. So, last week I was telling you that I went to visit my parents in Bayshore Harbor, Maine. Well, that's not a place. It doesn't exist. It was Boothbay Harbor, Maine. So I apologize to that area. It was absolutely beautiful. But one of the things that I wanted to tell you a little bit more about, we went out on an oyster cruise, and that was in Boothbay Harbor. Now, Kyle, have you ever been in a situation where you felt you were entering like a Stephen King novel?
No, but I long to be in that type of situation.
Well, you should have been with me. So we board this boat. This boat had to be like 80 years old. You know, when the engine was cranking up, you could feel the motor turning, and you could see a big exhaust of black smoke come out the back. We push away from the dock. We're just heading out very slowly on this river. It's run by an older husband and wife, and the husband is on the microphone the whole time telling everyone, come to the bar. My wife is making drinks. My wife is serving oysters. So they're trying to get you to come up, drink their drinks, eat their food. He's telling stories, but if you're paying attention to him, every time he reaches up to turn the microphone on, his hand is going like this. And I'm telling you, it's like reaching from your shoulder to maybe your eyeball. It's going like this. He has to reach over and just push a button in. And that looked like a big struggle. So, first of all, I'm like, oh my God, is this captain even going to be able to survive the trek out? We're going along. We get about halfway through, and I remember us turning around, but this is after we had all been eating and drinking the food. My dad said, when are we going to turn this boat around? And I said, I think we already did. And my mom wasn't sure. So I'm like, okay, what extra dimensional universe, like in the Langoliers or the Mist, have we entered into? And then we're coming back, and I'm trying to look around and see all of the various landmarks that we may have passed. I don't remember any of them. All of the people who were out in the oyster farms working had all disappeared. And I'm like, okay, this is the end of the world. I'm glad I had a good run up to this point, but we made it back all the way to base. It was a lot of fun, and that's what I would call a true Maine experience.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and the oysters were top notch. So, Kyle, anything else we need to mention before we get to this week's movies?
I think we got to talk about The Monkey one, because that's also a Stephen King short that I rated really highly on the movie spreadsheet, like top 10 movie I have right now, which is pretty nuts. But I also got to talk a little bit about those movie posters, having now put up some of those images and seen the Bennett like Beckham and the kicking and screaming. IMDb, what are we doing? You have to have the right poster up there. But also, I needed the opportunity to shout out The Damned United, which is the best soccer movie, historically accurate soccer movie I've ever seen. So if you like sports movie, Eric, I know you're a sports guy. The Damned United is so good, and it's a true story of Brian Klopp's time at Leeds. So that is what I have going on. You got any corrections for this week, or what else we got going
No,
on?
other than me making up towns in Maine, I'm good to go. So, Kyle, let's get started with movie night. I'm going to kick us off with Thursday Murder Club, which was your assignment for me and for the rest of us who are watching on YouTube. So, just a reminder, movie night is like our movie club. Each week, Kyle and I pick a movie for us to watch together, and then Kyle and I try to predict each other's scores, and whoever gets closer that week gets first dibs to pick next week's movies. So let's talk about Thursday Murder Club. It was on Netflix, which I really appreciated. When we joined the movie, we joined what seems to be a retirement community that is based at a castle-like structure. Kind of reminded me of like Downton Abbey, because it is based somewhere in England. We also learned that the residents are about to be evicted because one of the owners decided that he could make a buck by getting rid of the land and putting it up for a different type of development. However, turns out that some of the residents who live there are also part of what they call the Thursday Murder Club, where they get together and they try to solve cold cases, and they also try to solve murders that are happening around them in real time. Well, there are some new murders that are taking place, and it turns out that they are linked to the people who are trying to take over the land and have it developed for something else and have them kicked out. Well, as they go through solving the murders in their own way, and the story weaves in and out with many different suspects, some of whom are closely related to the people who are in the murder club, they are able to solve the situation, not only figuring out who the murderers are in those active cases, but in some cold cases. And the Only Murders in the Building meets 80 for Brady meets Downton Abbey, solves the case, and is able to stay in their home. So, Kyle, just from the brief overview, did I miss anything?
I think you got everything.
All right, awesome. So, here's what I liked about the movie. The story and the premise, I think I've said this a bunch of times since hosting this with you, and also when we've talked about movies before. So many times studios get stuck in doing the same thing over and over. This felt like a new twist, a new situation, a new story. So I appreciated that. I did like how many twists and turns there were. If you weren't paying attention, you were going to miss something that was really, really important. I also appreciated the fact that it remained lighthearted, and there were elements of humor in there despite it taking on some pretty heavy and serious situations. So that's what I liked about the movie. Kyle, what did you like about Thursday Murder Club?
Well, I mean, the cast was phenomenal. And like you said, the way that they were able to have this lightheartedness carry throughout the entire movie, which was about murder, was awesome. I also really enjoyed their necklaces that they all got. It kind of seemed like maybe living in a retirement home when you're older could be a pretty cool place if you have characters like this in there. But I mean, just that cast of Helen Mirren, Ben Kingsley, Pierce Brosnan, it was awesome. The cakes looked awesome that the one lady made, and then also like the fact that it was on Netflix. Big fan of that. So, Eric, what didn't you like about this movie?
Well, I got to agree with you. The cakes looked delicious. So I'm going to take a little bit of a different stance from you on the acting. And I love Helen Mirren. I think she's absolutely fantastic. I just didn't really appreciate her in this role in particular. I don't know. Maybe it was the way in which she sped through things. Maybe it's the way in which they edited the movie. I don't know. I just felt like it missed the mark for Helen. And Pierce Brosnan, I kind of felt the same way too. I just didn't feel like I was watching him act. It almost felt like he was phoning it into me. It reminded me a lot of the role that he played in Mamma Mia, which was not my favorite role for him. And I think anyone who appreciates singing watched that and was like, what was that? But just in general, for Pierce Brosnan, like, I loved him as James Bond. He was great in Mrs. Doubtfire. Also, the Thomas Crown Affair, like, all of that I thought was Pierce Brosnan at his best. I just didn't buy him in this role. While the movie tried to stay lighthearted throughout the entire thing, it was a lot of times dark humor that just, I felt like it sometimes missed the boat. And the last point I wanted to make was, I'm not sure if you saw the last Downton Abbey movie, not the new one that's coming out, I believe, this week. But it just felt like it was a story on ADD. They would do something for 30 seconds and then scene cut, something changed. There was so much movement in this movie, so many names that were thrown at you, so many quick scenes that if you weren't sitting down and fully focused and like paying attention to like a lecture, I felt like you weren't really going to understand the ending. So all of that made it really hard for me to follow and not get confused over. So that's what I didn't like about the movie. Kyle, what about you?
I think we're gonna pretty much have the same thing to say about this movie. I felt like with the actors and the way that they went about carrying out these roles, it was really lighthearted, but it wasn't that funny. And so I would like to see this movie be either funnier or be more serious. And I felt like where it kind of stood in between didn't really make a ton of sense, and it was really hard for me to follow during this time. Like, like just the lightheartedness makes me want to not pay attention, but it's like a murder mystery, so I should be paying attention. And I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of murder mysteries. I was hoping for something here, maybe more like, what's it called, like Glass Onion or Knives Out, like those type of murder mysteries. Whereas this one was, I don't know, kind of like a new middle ground that I wasn't particularly fond of. Also, I just think that it was really slow to start. They introduce us to this cold case they're solving, and they go into the other one, and you know the entire time that other one is going to tie back in because they never truly resolve it. And then when they start talking about the cemetery, you're like, okay, wait, I see what they're doing here. It was just all over the place for me. And I've got to say, I think this was the worst week for movies, not trying to give anything away, that we've had so far. So, Eric, what was your overall score for this movie?
Yeah, well, so Kyle, I just want to react. Like, I couldn't agree with you more on that tone. Like, if you watch Only Murders in the Building on Hulu, which I felt as though these two things could have been almost identical. One's a movie, one's a TV show, but Only Murders in the Building, like, leans into the fact that it's supposed to be funny and a spoof. And so it's less about the mystery and it's just more about them. This, I just felt like it tried to, blend that line and it didn't work. So I agree with you. So, all right, are you ready for my score reveal?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. My overall score for Thursday Murder Club was 7.475, which puts it in the bottom 20% of movies on my spreadsheet. Given the cast, I expected more. I think I've already said this multiple times, what it reminded me of. But hey, if you like Helen Mirren and you like Downton Abbey and you got Netflix, you'll probably enjoy watching this movie. So, Kyle, I'd love to know what you thought my prediction was going to be.
I thought you were going to be way lower. I said you'd be at a 4.0. So a huge chunk off again, which basically means probably not going to win this one again. Yeah, I didn't think that it would be witty enough for you or be serious enough for you. So I thought it would be below 5.0 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I always think back to, was I entertained, and what I put into that entertainment score. And I believe, I would have to check my spreadsheet, but I believe I put like a 6.5. Like, it's not as if I wasn't entertained and I was disappointed from watching it. It just doesn't throw it really high up. It's not awful. I just didn't think it was great. Where did you put it in terms of score, and do you know where it ranked on your movie spreadsheet?
Yeah, I absolutely I like punish this one badly. This is number 313 with a 3.3 overall. I just found it so hard to watch because of like you've articulated the tone. Like, am I supposed to be paying attention? Is it light and goofy? Is it serious? Helen Mirren's character works for MI6. Also, like one of the main bad guys, the guy who cheats on his wife early on, he plays a detective in Broadchurch, a British crime show, which is phenomenal. And I always have a hard time when they put people in these roles different than what they've been traditionally cast as. It just makes me view them kind of differently. So I really struggle to stay entertained with this movie and also find it like to be a decent murder mystery. So, audience, what do you think? Let us know about like how our comments about this movie rack up. You closer to Eric or you closer to myself for overall score? Anything else to say about this one before we move into the drop?
I agree with you. I think it's really difficult for someone like Courtney Cox, who we know as Monica, to go out and play another character. So when you identify someone as a certain character in a certain role and they go and do something else, if they don't blow that performance out of the park, it's just really tough. So nothing else to say, Kyle. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about movie number 2, Drop.
All right. So I'm excited about, well, let me tell you about The Drop. So we got smoking hot widow goes on a date with Atlas. Now, I got to be clear. I'm going to refer to the guy as Atlas the entire time because that's Atlas, who's Lily Blossom Bloom's husband. And what's that movie called? What's the movie? Oh my God, I'm blanking on the movie with Blake Lively. Anyways, so she goes on a date. She gets on this date and she gets this message that's basically telling her that she's got to do stuff. Otherwise, her son is going to be murdered. Eric, comments. What did I miss for this one?
No, that's pretty much it. I think the movie, are you thinking of It Ends With Us?
It ends with us. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, cool. I was doing a quick Google for you. But no, nothing else to add. So what did you like about Drop?
Okay, I like Megan Fahey. 1, 2, I like Atlas. It's good to see him in something else. Again, I really liked him. It ends with us. Thank you for clearing that up. And I also really liked the text that was on the screen. I love when they text and it pops up on the screen like the little bubbles. And there was one time where Atlas walked through the text and it kind of made like a staticky noise. I'm not sure what it's called, but he like interacted with the text and he kind of moved through it and then it went behind him. And I love that effect. And I think they only used it one time. But that's what I have for what I liked about it. Eric, what did you like about this one?
So my third bullet is when showing text on the screen, they put it in huge font so you could see it. I really like that too. Other things that I liked about it, I like how it built, aside from that immediate opening scene, which started with the main actress, and then you found out who that was later on. It started off slow and light and airy. It set the tone really well. You knew what you were going into. I also liked how when she first got to the restaurant, you constantly met two people, so you were thrown a whole bunch of suspects right at the beginning. I also appreciated the fact that they knew this was a dumb movie, so they didn't take themselves too seriously. Like, they really played into the silliness of it, the the comical aspect while still being a horror thriller. I appreciated that. And one other thing that I always find interesting in movies like this is having them explain to us what the rules are. So we knew that the bad guy, had to be nearby because the app that they were using is based on proximity. And then we're told, we can see everything you're doing and you can't leave. So there's another rule. You can't communicate with the outside world because we're looking at your phone. So I like how they made those rules well known, pretty easy to follow along. Those are some of the things that I liked about the movie. Kyle, I think you're going to have a long list. What didn't you like about the movie?
I mean, the story, the dialogue, the plot structure, the pacing. I mean, just the fact that, when, the lead actress and Atlas, then they're interacting with each other, I felt like their lines are so quick, like back and forth, that it was really clear that they were acting. Some of Atlas's comebacks and quips were like lightning fast, where it's like you wouldn't be able to come up with that quickly. And so a little bit of just the acting kind of threw me off just a little bit. Also, I hate the fact that they're in Chicago. Atlas gives a hockey puck to her son, and it's the generic Chicago hockey club. It's like, come on, that's supposed to be the Blackhawks. That drives me crazy. Also, you know what else drives me crazy? You know what I really dislike? Is when you're in a fight with a bad guy. And don't even get me started on the end, because the end was just insane. And you stab a bad guy and you have the advantage and they're like reeling in pain. You take advantage you capitalize on that advantage. You don't like run away and just let them take the glass. No, keep going, finish it. All right. Eric, what didn't you like about this one?
Yeah, so I know I said that it was silly and they leaned into it, but some of the rules that I was talking about, some of the control that the bad guy had was just out of this world. Mirroring the phone, seeing everything you do is just insane. He's sitting at the restaurant and they established that he was at the restaurant. And so you know that he is either an employee or a patron. And the fact that he's able to maintain all of this control and monitor everything while still barking out orders, that was a little far-fetched. Her getting looped in from the get-go, maybe this is just me, but if I receive something odd on my phone, I just ignore it. I don't get involved. And the more that it comes through, I just figure out a way to block the notification. So, maybe if you're a relative of mine, you should know that you're probably not in the best of hands. But it just seems so over the top. And her date, he threatened to leave multiple times. He even paid the check. I would have been out of there so much faster. I give him props for staying along, but all of those things were kind of like a distraction for me. So Kyle, I might have overshot what you were going to rate this movie. I would love to hear your score.
Well, let me comment real quick on the almost leaving multiple times. It made me think of How I Met Your Mother, the Barney Stinson crazy hot scale. Like if she's so hot, she can be, I'll put it up over here, she can be this crazy. And so I was like, at what point would I leave like this day? And also like the end where like you think that the guy's like, I'm playing chess or whatever he says at the end. And then you're like, or maybe was she so far ahead? No, she wasn't. She just is able to like trick him at the very end. So stupid. All right, my overall score for this one was a 1.9, which is ridiculously low. I was just not a fan of this movie. Eric, what did you think I was going to be, and also what was your score?
So I'll give you my score first. I gave it a 7.55. Again, I was entertained. I didn't think it was all that bad. If you want a dumb horror flick that's going to keep your attention for an hour and a half, by the way, it was perfect length. I thought it was great. But 7.55, that's the bottom 22% of my movie spreadsheet. So just keep that in mind. I had you at 5.85, so I think I lost.
Yes. Wow.
Did I lose? Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
I gotta do math here. I gotta do math.
Do the math. I'll chat about this one a little bit more. And I think you know what's interesting was that I took all of your scores from your spreadsheet and I put it into AI, and I was like, hey, what do you predict this person is gonna rate the drop as? And AI predicted that you would be between a 7.7 and an 8.5. And I was like, no freaking way is that true. There's no way that's where you're going to be. Where did you end up, or how was our gap? Who won?
So my gap to you was 3.95. Your gap to me was 3.8. 475. So I'm upset. I wanted to pick first this week. You win.
Wow. Honestly, I'm so surprised that we were both so far off of each other's predictions this week.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I think Kyle and I were talking about offline, we need to download a copy of each other's spreadsheet before the next week starts. So that way we can look back at history without being tipped off. So, all right. We now know who the winner is this week. Also, I'd love to know from you, what do you think worked about this movie? What didn't you like? What would your overall score have been? And how close were you to guessing both of our scores? Please comment and let us know, and we will read memorable comments the following week on movie night and game day. All right. Well, now it's time to have fun as part of movie night. This week we are going to play Who Am I? Movie Night Edition. And so, Kyle, tell everyone how this works.
Okay, so I've got an actor or an actress from Ethan. And Ethan's giving me an actor and actress, and Meg's given Eric an actor and actress. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to guess who that person is in as few of questions as possible. And they have to be yes or no questions. The person who gets it right in the fewest amount of questions is victorious.
Yep. So it's kind of like 20 questions, and it's a competition. This week, I think we're just going for glory, but next week, no. I think we have something on the line. I think we have to say something nice about a team that we hate next week. All right. So also, because we involved two people to help us out, if either of our names were particularly unfair, it is obviously Meg's or Ethan's fault. I just want to point that out. So let's see. I think I'm going to guess first. Is that right, Kyle?
Yeah, Eric, you're up first. I'm going to keep track of the number of guesses that you have. So you can go ahead and ask your first question.
All right. Am I alive?
No.
Oh, well, I was not expecting you to say no.
I am so glad that I researched. I didn't do a lot of research. I just Googled the person and I was like, okay.
Okay. Am I a male?
Yes.
Am I mostly known for comedies?
No.
All right. Am I mostly known for movies?
Yes.
All right. So non-comedy, dead actor. Am I mostly known for dramas?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't help
Am
when I answer the question in like a no type way.
No, that's okay. I mean that's also a clue, so you can add as much inflection to the answers as you want.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Was I old when I died?
Yes.
Okay. Did I act all throughout my career?
I'm going to say yes. Maybe on the back end, maybe not as much, obviously, because you're old when you died, but yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm trying to take some other context clues about when we were talking about the names that we received for each other. Okay. Okay. Male actor, he's dead now. Was my heyday in the 80s?
No.
Was my heyday in the 90s?
No.
Was my heyday in the 70s?
No.
Okay. Now I'm getting real confused. Is my heyday from the 60s?
Yes.
Okay. So So I'm a male actor. Most of my stuff came out in the 60s. Am I best known for movies?
Yes.
Okay. Am I known for romance?
No.
Am I known for adventure?
Yes.
Okay. That's cool. What the hell adventure movies came out in the 60s that I might be familiar with?
Can I, let me give you a hint?
Did no.
Okay.
Did did I wear a cape? No, I might be predating.
Not that I'm familiar
Okay, no.
with.
No, that would have been the 70s. Okay. Adventure movies. How many questions have I asked?
I have no idea. I haven't been counting, but you know what I'll do is I'll put it up here on the screen as we go through.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
just call
So
it
we might
35.
have to declare the winner after.
No, we'll figure it out.
Okay, okay. All right. All right. Am I a name that when you say it I'm going to be like, "Oh, duh."
No, but you are a name. Like there's, you're a huge name. And can I give you? Want me to give you a little hint?
Yeah, give me a hint.
Okay, you are definitely associated with a role.
I'm definitely associated with a role. Okay. Okay. And the role that I'm associated with is like from the 60s.
Yes.
Who the hell did Ethan pick? I'm gonna cry foul. Just like you're mad at IMDb from last week. Okay. I'm known for an adventurous role from the 60s. Well, the 60s predates Superman. The 60s predates Star Wars. Predates Jaws.
You want me
Oh my
Let me give you another hint.
Yeah, give me another hint. You're gonna win this one, by
So
the way.
it's a role that they're still making movies for today. That's the first part of the hint. So they still put out these movies that they have at least in the last 10 years. And then when you're like, give me the second part of the hint, I'll give you the second part of the hint.
I mean, all right. Give me the second part of the hint.
The future of this role is unoccupied.
The future of this role is unoccupied.
Or is open.
Okay, so it's a franchise that lives on to today.
Yes.
Okay, is it a Marvel franchise?
No.
Is it a DC Comics
No.
franchise? Ooh. God, well, this predates. Is it a Star Trek franchise?
No. Maybe ask where he's from.
Am I from the United States?
No.
Am I from Europe?
Yes.
Am I from England?
You're from the UK.
Okay, I'm from the UK. Well, I don't think this guy is dead. Is it well, that wouldn't be well, that might be Marvel, just in a different, but you said no to Marvel. I mean, the guy that I'm thinking of is oh, he's the British dude. Oh my god, I'm having a major brain fart. He was, the brain. He was in Star Trek. No, That's not it because it's going against all of the clues that you gave me. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna need another hint.
All right, he's also in a yeah, he's also in a series of we'll call it movie. They are movies, not we'll call it movies. Like in the '80s, late '80s, early '90s, where he plays like the main person's father. But that's not what he's known for. He's known for a role that still exists today.
Is it Leonard Nimoy?
It's not.
Am I close?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna give you one more hint. It's not Mission Impossible. So I'm trying to steer you away from space and that kind of stuff. So it's not Mission Impossible, and that role is open. And then there's another franchise very similar to it, where the main character is not American. He might work for the British government.
Oh, got it. I got it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for, making it as plain as day, which I needed because I was struggling. Okay, so it's James Bond. Okay, it's the 60s. It's is it Suck It Trebek? What's his name?
This is so funny because when Ethan gave me this name, I was like, "Oh, is Eric just like a huge fan of this person? Like, is this gonna be real quick, like 5 questions?"
No. But is that who? It's
He's Scottish.
Is it Sean Connery?
It is Sean Connery. Nice work. 7 questions. Okay. That's it.
Oh yeah. Bullshit. It was 7 hints and maybe 20 questions. All right. Okay. That was guessable. I'm gonna give it to him. That was guessable. I definitely should have gotten that, but oof, that was tougher than I would have thought. Yeah. I think you're gonna cruise past me on this one. All right. So, Kyle, you ready?
I'm ready. And I gotta say for a second, I think it's so much harder going first because having seen you do it, I'm now like, okay, these are the type of questions I have to ask, and I have to avoid these type of pitfalls. So I'm ready. I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
All right. Don't be nervous. Shake it out. Ready to go? What's your first question?
Is it a guy?
Yes.
Are they alive today?
Yes.
Is it Sam Rockwell?
No.
Okay. Because I know Megs knows that I love Sam Rockwell. All right. Have they been in a movie in the last 3 years?
Without a quick IMDb, I think the answer is yes.
Are they known for one particular role?
I'm going to say like a particular character he played.
Yeah, like what I mean is like did they play, is it like somebody that played James Bond?
Like Sean,
correct.
Like Sean Connery.
They played
James
the same
Bond.
role over and over again?
No.
Have they won an Oscar?
I don't believe so. That's 6 questions.
6 questions. Are they over 50 years old?
Let me Google that. I don't think so.
Are they alive?
I'll give you, he's over 50 and alive. Didn't you start off with that?
I don't know, I probably did.
Or you started off with dude. Okay, he's alive.
Okay, so we got a dude over 50 who sounds like had a big role but is not associated with one role, has not won an Oscar, so that's going to eliminate all the big names. I know exactly how you feel now with Sean Connery. I'm like, who is equivalent to Sean Connery in this situation? All right.
I wouldn't focus too much on that. He may have had a big role. I can't think of a particular role, but I could see one or two people saying like, "Oh, obviously he's known for this," but I would just say he's more just general. I don't want you to get pitfalled
Okay.
there.
In his,
You're at
has
8.
he been in a major blockbuster movie?
I'm just gonna look at his. Uh, he has definitely been in movies you've seen and really liked. Whether they make it to major blockbuster or not, I'm not sure, but they were definitely some popular, or at least like cult hits. I believe that's 9.
Is it Bruce Willis?
No, that's 10.
Something about me that was like, it's Bruce Willis. Have they been in the movie in which they go to space? Which his character goes to space?
I don't think so. I think he's been on Earth the entire time.
Does he have one movie?
That's
Does he
11.
have one movie that people associate? I already asked this question. Wow. Is he known for comedy?
Yes.
Oh. Is it Adam Sandler?
No.
Is it Jim Carrey?
No.
Is it like that type of person? Is it Will Ferrell?
He's no. He's probably he is known for comedy, but I wouldn't say he is thought of as comedic in the way that those guys are.
Is it The Rock?
No.
Come on.
No, I also he is over 50, but I don't really think of him as over 50.
Is it Macaulay Culkin?
No.
I don't ever think
No.
of him as being over 50. This is either going to be an awesome segment or a terrible segment based on
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm working with
I can give you a hint.
yeah, let's have a hint.
He and his brother are very well known for movies, mostly in comedy.
Okay. Is this person white?
Yes.
Two comics associated with their brother?
Don't use the word comic. They're comedic actors.
I need to Google comedic actors. I don't even know what that means. Okay.
Well, I would think Adam Sandler started off kind of like as a comic and then went into acting, whereas like Robin Williams is a comedic actor. I don't associate him with being a comic. I associate him with being an actor. Do you see the difference? If I'm splitting hairs and it's not helpful, then never mind.
Okay. Are they known for being from a city?
I don't think so.
Okay, so they're not like they're not like from Boston. They're not like Boston people. Okay,
No.
I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea.
Meg
I think we both
says
need to
you-
have talks with some people.
Meg said you definitely know who this is. I'm trying to think if I can get. He and his brother, in addition to known for comedic acting, and especially the brother, are known for kind of being goofy.
Goofy actors. God. I feel like Megs and Ethan probably led us down a pretty bad path.
No, I think you're gonna hear this one and you're gonna be like, oh my god. Let's see.
And they're famous for they're known for being like movies is their thing. They don't do anything else before that.
No, I don't believe so. Your guy who you're trying to guess did host a reality show, but I think otherwise it's just been movies. So think late 90s, early 2000s. Some of your favorite. I know one of the comedies that he's best known for. I think is one of your favorite movies.
Oh my god. Was it Mark
Um,
Wahlberg?
no.
What? I'm trying
Um,
to really play off the brothers.
yeah. They've definitely been in movies together. They've also been in movies separately. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think if I can give you other
No, I got to keep
hints.
guessing. Let me keep guessing. All right.
Okay.
Do we have so they are past their prime? We'll say. Yes, they're past their prime for movies.
I don't know if I would say that. I don't. They haven't been in a lot as recently, but they certainly are both still acting every now and then.
Okay, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna try to talk this out. So I don't think it's any of like the David Spade. I don't think it's
Nope.
like Chris Farley, obviously, because he's
Nope.
dead. I don't think it's gonna be anybody in that crew.
Correct.
It's not like I know Tom Hanks. It's not Tom
Nope.
Hanks.
Nope.
So we know that they're white. We know they're actors that are still alive, over 50, but we consider them to be younger. Are they known? Like, is their biggest role a movie that their brothers were in together, or like one of their biggest roles, a movie they were in together?
Uh, I let's see. I don't think they were both in that movie. Um, let's see. I don't think they were both in this one either. Let's see. No, I don't think. Oh, I really don't want to send you down in case there was one where they were. Yeah, there are a handful where they're in movies together and a handful where they're separate.
Okay. I'm running out of steam here. All right, let's talk this out more to make for better viewing experience for the audience. All right, so two dudes in in their 50s, no Oscars, in movies, kind of early 2000s ish. It's like Bill Murray wouldn't qualify as this because he doesn't have
No.
a brother. We wouldn't say like Steve Martin or any of those kind of guys. John Candy, no. I think I'm too old. I think I'm thinking too old.
You are.
Uh,
Got to go younger.
and they're like slapstick and goofier in their movies. You said
I wouldn't say slapstick, but just like them as people are just more kind of like goofy, regular dudes.
goofy, irregular dudes.
Especially the brother. That's how I picture the brother.
Oh, is it a Baldwin? Is it Alec Baldwin?
Oh,
Billy Baldwin?
it is not the Baldwins.
Oh
That's
man,
not bad. I'd go just a hint younger than them.
oh my goodness, younger than the Baldwins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously without the acting chops. Okay, let's go with.
He's been in movies with Will Ferrell.
Okay,
He's been in movies with
is it Luke Wilson?
it's Luke Wilson. It's Luke Wilson.
Oh, okay. That was. You know what? You know what we should do here? I just we think we should say neither of us win. We just say
Yeah.
we just count that one as an
Hardcore
absolute
massive
push.
fail.
Yeah, and then we don't have to compliment our sports teams. Any sports
No.
teams next week.
No, we don't
think that
need
was a
this
loss for
bad
everybody.
juju going forward. So, you know what? I'm going to say neither of us took the glory. You and I are just both, we hardcore blew this one. We'll see if we play this one again. Maybe we need to practice on our own. But let's go ahead and close the curtain on movie night. It is time to move in and find our seats for game day. Each week, we bring a topic from the world of sports where we're going to discuss it. And Kyle, you've got the first topic this week. What do you got going on?
I say I love that transition. I love how you said let's like move to our seats for game day. It's awesome. Okay, so first week in the NFL, we're back. NFL's in session. I have so many different things to think about and say about the NFL being Thursday night, Friday night, Sunday night, Monday night now for some reason. But watching the Ravens Bills game last night, something happened to Lamar Jackson, and he's getting a bunch of kind of there's a bunch of like chatter online, obviously about like is he going to be suspended for the push against the kid that happened in the end zone, and I am so sick of fans interacting with play. I understand that this individual was like young, but when you watch them celebrating that touchdown, and yeah, the Ravens go right next to the Bills like sideline, or they go right next. They're in the end zone, right up against the wall, right where fans are. Like that's going to lead to potentially some issues. But when you see the force in which Lamar Jackson's head was pushed back, no, you can't do that. You can't touch him like that. There should be no consequence for Lamar Jackson at all. This is insane. And this makes me feel the exact same way that I felt during the World Series when Mookie Betts' arm was grabbed by the Yankee fans. And it was open and pried open to grab the ball out and throw it away. I hate the way fans are interacting with the sports fields and the players. And I really think something has to be done about this. There needs to be like, I don't know. Eric, did you see this? What do you think about this one?
I watched a good bit of the game last night. I did not watch it solely and end to end without interruption. So I did not see this. I've heard some things about it, but you're obviously getting into it more right now. Just more in generally. So I'm a season ticket holder for the Saints. I bring that up for a reason. They make it very clear that your privilege of going to a Saints game or an NFL game can be revoked at any time for disruptive behavior. So if you are a fan and you somehow disrupt the game or get into it with a player, you could easily be banned temporarily or for life from returning to a game. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, I also think that the players are in a different situation. They know they're in front of a bunch of raving, idiotic fans. They might receive something from the fans. There's no need to retaliate. Let that process play out on its own. You as the player don't get involved. But having said all of that, yeah, fans should not be interrupting the game, especially with, as you referred to, the Mookie Betts situation last year. That was absolutely insane. But I did not see exactly what happened with the Ravens last night.
It was, I mean, they were like, look, here's what I'll say is that the Ravens had just scored a touchdown. They were all celebrating in the end zone. They were right along the fence line. And we know, like, hey, you go near that fence line and you try to jump into the opposing team's fans, like, things unfortunately are going to happen. Like, you're gonna get stuff thrown at you. You could have stuff said to you. You can be like touched, right? And in this case, they were right along the edge of that fence, and there was one particular person who I think he was pounding on DeAndre Hopkins' head, and I believe he's been identified as being like a minor, so he's under 18, but he's definitely a teenager. But when you watch Lamar Jackson's head, based on how hard it was pushed, it was like kind of crazy. It would have been in illegal hands to the face. Let's say that. Like, when you watched on TV and their head goes, that's what it looked like. And then so helmet snaps down, you get a push. It was crazy to me, and it made me immediately think about Mookie Betts. Now, obviously, Mookie Betts is during the play, and this was different, but still, like, come on, like, yes, athletes are overpaid, but like, no, you don't have the right to like reach out and touch them when they're on the confines of the field. So, Eric, anything else about this one?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say I agree with you. The NFL can and probably will find out who the person is, and they're going to receive some sort of ban from facilities for some sort of period of time, and I think that's totally valid.
Well, a lot of the chatter has been that Lamar Jackson's going to face a potential suspension fine because of his interaction with the fan.
Did he fight back, push back?
He definitely pushed back, but I'll say, like, you're in the middle of a game, like, it's heated, like, your emotions are high, like, somebody pushes your head back, like, what do you do? Like, what's your natural reaction? Is like, get them off of you. So yeah,
a wacko fan pushes you and you're paid $40 million a year, you just extract yourself from the situation. That's what you do. Like, I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying, but I think both sides were wrong. The punishment doesn't have to be equal. The fan is more wrong for inciting it, but how many times are penalties handed out to the reactor, not the actor?
Oh yeah. All right, Eric. What do you get this week? What's going on with you for sports?
All right, so Kyle, I know you're generally not a fan of any of the national TV broadcasts, so I'm not sure how much this is going to hit home for you. But I do just want to ask the question anyway. When you are watching an NFC game, do you expect that to be on a certain network?
100% of the time, I expect it to be on the superior Fox network because Fox is way better than CBS.
100%. And if you think of an AFC game, you expect that to be on CBS. Well,
CBS.
I'm sure you and I grew up with the NFC on Fox, the AFC on CBS. There was a time when it was NFC, CBS, AFC, NBC. But either way, you had a conference alignment that went with the network. And the league in their latest media deals, I'm sure we all know this, has basically said there's no more such thing as a conference belonging to the network aside from the postseason where the NFC Championship will be on Fox and the AFC Championship will be on CBS. Now, look, the league, by doing that, it's made it more flexible for the league to put the best games in every window possible, but it's also had some interesting negative side effects in terms of, at least from my vantage point. So I wanted to give you an example. So you and I live here in New Orleans. For those of you who live in the home market of a team, you know this. You are always going to get your local team on Sunday afternoons, and then they basically fill in around that local broadcast. So if you grew up in Seattle, you're always going to get the Seahawks. If you live in one of those markets where it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, you're not associated with the team, then you kind of like bounce around week to week. But anyway, here in New Orleans, I just want to talk this through. So week one, since the Saints were on CBS we had Arizona at New Orleans, Detroit at Green Bay, and then the late game on Fox was San Francisco at Seattle. Next week, the Saints are on Fox. We get San Francisco at New Orleans, followed by Philly at Kansas City. And then the late game on CBS, we're getting Carolina at Arizona. And then week 3, the Saints are on CBS. We're going to have the Rams at Philly, Dallas at Chicago, and New Orleans at Seattle. So this year, through 3 weeks, we will have been given in the Sunday afternoon window 17 NFC teams and 1 AFC team. So I just wanted to rewind back 10 years ago and just compare it to what we got 10 years ago before the NFL just completely blew up all of those alignments. So through 3 weeks in 2015, we got 10 NFC teams and 8 AFC teams, thanks to 506 Sports, which is an awesome website for showing us what we got in the past. So I'm not here to complain about Fox versus CBS. I could do that over and over again every single week. But with the conference affiliations now gone and the NFL just putting games haphazardly around the schedule, you end up having these weird outcomes in markets because you're no longer requiring that one network has to get an AFC game and one network has to get an NFC game. So my ask for the NFL going forward is, can we bring more of that alignment back, or at least do a better job of figuring out the balance on a market by market basis? I think that would be better for the sport overall. And me as a viewer, I want to get exposure to teams from both conferences. Even though we're in an NFC market, it might skew our way a little bit more, but I would like a better balance. So, Kyle, I'd love to know if you have any thoughts about that.
Yeah, I wasn't unaware of the switch because I watched on the 4 box, and so I wasn't really super paying attention to what each was on. But it's going to feel weird that Fox is not on with the NFC at all times. And this is kind of like, I think, a bigger problem with the NFL is they're starting to do stuff where it's like, why are we doing the things that we do? It feels like it's working pretty well, and then we go ahead and make all these changes to it. Like, the red zone had all the controversy over showing commercials now. But yes, I agree with you. Like, but growing up on the West Coast, generally speaking, watching the Seahawks, we were going to play like that early game. And now living in New Orleans, I know we're pretty much going to always be on that 3 o'clock slot in the afternoon, which is the worst slot. Like, I spend all my energy watching those noon games, and the 3:30 game rolls around, and I don't even really get a chance to watch my team because we always play at 3:30. Give me a noon game. That's what I got.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. So I just want to see that imbalance get kicked away. I mean, you and I are psychos. We subscribe to Sunday Ticket, so we're going to see every game regardless. I'm just thinking of the average fan out there. It just seems like a high imbalance if you just have rabbit ears down here in New Orleans. All right. Game over. It's time for our movie assignments for next week. So, Kyle, you were the winner. Why don't you kick us off? What are we watching next week?
Well, I prepped too because I was expecting to lose. So happy to get the first choice here. But honestly, I was really happy with both these movies. So because I just watched The Monkey and I rated it so highly, I want to watch more Stephen King. So the movie that I'm going to assign this week is The Long Walk, which comes out this weekend. So I'm pumped to recommend that one to you and have us get a watch and discuss, because I love Stephen King. You're from, you just went to Maine, so obviously you have to love Stephen King. What do you got for me?
So that was going to be my assignment for you if I had won. So very happy with that choice. I can't wait to go see it in the theaters. The movie I have for you, it is new on Hulu. It's called Locked. It's got Anthony Hopkins and Bill Skarsgård. All I really know about it is that Anthony Hopkins is seeking bloody revenge on a common criminal. So that sounds fantastic to me. So we got one in the theaters and a new release, and one on streaming. I'm excited for both of these movies next week. All right, Kyle, before we sign off, do you have any closing thoughts or comments?
I've got nothing else. So what do you got for us, Eric?
Just want to say congratulations to Carlos for winning the U.S. Open. Remember, next week we are going to be watching The Long Walk and Locked. The Long Walk is in theaters. Locked is on Hulu. We want you to please watch these movies too and come ready to comment, because we want you to participate in movie night and game day. We also want to see how close you can get to guessing our scores.
All right. And as always, please subscribe to that channel. Remember to like, share, comment. And if you catch my movie reviews, you're going to get the score up front, spoiler free. Thanks for tuning in. Eric, closing line.
All right. Thanks, Kyle. And yeah, thanks to everyone for listening and watching. We'll catch you again next week right here on Movie Night and Game Day.